Hey everyone, welcome to a GameSpot news update. I'm here with Mark Walton, editor from our UK office.
Hello.
Hello. He just got to go see Final Fantasy 15.
I did.
Yeah, and you got to see a little bit more than what was shown in the trailer yesterday.
Yeah, so there was a brand new sort of gameplay trailer. Essentially, there was very little of the cutscene stuff, all action. It was very, very cool stuff.
So obviously this has gone away from the sort of like, separating battles from the overworld. You know, Square Enix have kind of been going back and forth, but this looks very different from what they've been doing.
Really different. So I know in the teaser that they showed at the PS4 conference, there was a little bit of gameplay in there, and what you saw was like action taking place sort of when he's in corridors.
Yeah.
It's sort of quite a fluid thing. And they showed a lot more of that. So this time there's a bit where he's down like the side of a building. He's like just kicking some guy's ass. He's got the sword out. He's doing all the special moves, but it's all like this sort of weird like horizontal view, which is very awesome. But the other cool thing were the big monsters. They're back. I believe, well, we weren't told, but I believe it was Ifrit in a fight.
Yep.
And yeah, loads of fire spells, loads of really cool action. Again, it's very different to the old Final Fantasies. You know, it's not turn-based at all. This is all action. But you can still see, you still get those glimpses. You still get little number markers coming off when you land hits and all that stuff. You still got the spells. Don't know about summons yet, we'll see. But so far, it's looking really exciting.
And so the main character that you were talking about, who's kind of doing all this action in the trailer, tell me about him a little bit.
Well, so he's basically the son, he's like a prince.
His name is Noctis or Noct?
Noctis, I believe.
Okay.
And he's like a prince. And essentially, the full story hasn't been revealed yet, but it's to do with crystals because it's Final Fantasy.
Who'd have thought?
They love their crystals, man. They're all about crystals. And essentially, they're trying to defend a crystal, an unspecified crystal, from some evil villain guys who are trying to steal it from them. That's about as much as we know right now. There's not a whole lot on the story, which is amazing because, frankly, this game's been in development since 2006.
Right.
And the information that's been trickled out has been so light that I'm amazed we don't know more about it yet. But, you know, it's amazing to see it now.
So what was the biggest thing that stood out to you during the trailer?
I think for me, you know, it's the game itself is looking beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that visuals aren't everything, but with Final Fantasy, there's a certain expectation for them to push visuals to a different place, and it looks fantastic. It really does.
I was really surprised to see how much maneuverability the main character had.
Yeah.
You know, he can almost like teleport into space. He can run up walls. You know, grapple and sort of like jump back and forth.
Yeah.
Did they explain the limitations of that at all?
So, I mean, there were many questions asked.
I'm sure.
And many questions unanswered. We did try to ask about that sort of stuff. I mean, the biggest thing is, I guess, the biggest complaint for Final Fantasy 13 was the sort of linear aspect to it, where you're kind of walking down those corridors, right? Now, it's very difficult to tell right now if this Final Fantasy 15 is going to be the same. But from what we've seen, it looks a little more freeform. You know, it looks like there's a lot more exploration. And certainly in the battles, at least, it's all over the place. And that looks really cool. I mean, there's that section there where he's sort of running around and getting shot by the guards, and that looks awesome, right? I mean, that's all like sort of that mix of the Western sort of aggressive action with a little bit of that Final Fantasy magic in there. And I like that. I'm
curious to see, you know, because people sort of think of Final Fantasy, they think of the mechanics, like the tenets of how the games have always worked.
Yeah.
But there are other things that sort of define, you know, that this is a Final Fantasy game. And I'm really curious to see how those sort of break through all the changes and if people will be able to embrace it.
Absolutely. I mean, 15 represents a huge change.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, when they first announced it as Versus 13, the reason they did that is because it was so different to what had come before. So the fact that they're making this a primary numbered game in the series is interesting. I think one of the things that came out of the Q&A that happened after I saw this game was everyone was asking about, you know, what's happening to the sort of the turn-based stuff, the command-based stuff, why are you going real-time? And Square Enix were very much on the defensive with Final Fantasy. They're very much saying that, you know, we're going to make sure that this game is going to appeal to fans, to the hardcore players. We haven't forgotten about you. Whether that is true or not, we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Well, guys, we've got a lot more stuff to see. E3 is just getting underway. We're going to be doing a lot of these little videos. Every game we see, we're going to sit down and kind of discuss it. If you have any questions for us, contact us on Twitter using the hashtag GameSpotE3. We're also going to have a lot of stage shows, over 90 games on 2 different stages. So, you know, stay tuned. You can catch us on Twitch TV or GameSpot.com and our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.